Hi everyone, Alessandro here, welcome. And the TaoTeChing is an amazing book, 2,500 years old, by Lao Tzu, and just 83 short chapters. And this particular one I find so inspiring, talking about the living are soft and yielding, and the dying or the dead are rigid and stiff. So it's not to make us feel a bit depressed, but actually if we observe, say, a tree, if the branches become too rigid, what happens? They crack, and we've seen them, they crack in the wind, then the tree probably is on its way out, it's dying. So even very long old branches in the trees, they're flexible in the wind. And as humans, I think these days we're getting a lot of issues to do with the mind being, if we are too inflexible, or the mind becomes too rigid, or we become too rigid in our habits as we get older, then these days we're getting things like dementia a lot sooner, and it does cause a lot of problems. So there's a lot of truth in keeping the mind flexible and keeping our thinking flexible. And that's energy, allowing the energy to flow up and down through the head, allowing the thoughts to dissipate. And when we do things like meditation, qigong, yoga, it's keeping the mind flexible and malleable, soft. So I just want to read this wonderful short chapter in the TaoTeChing, chapter 76. It's short and self-explanatory, so I don't want to say too much about it. So we'll just ring the bells before starting the nice Tibetan bowl I have here. And just put comments in if you find this inspiring, or if you have any comments from your own experiences in life. But I'm sure we all know people who perhaps are a bit rigid in their thinking. You tell us how that gets in the way of their lives and our lives. And it's really important to always be in the flow, flexible. So the living are soft and yielding, the dead are rigid and stiff. Living plants are flexible and tender, the dead are brittle and dry. Those who are stiff and rigid are the disciples of death. Those who are soft and yielding are the disciples of life. The rigid and stiff will be broken. The soft and yielding will overcome. So if you're watching on replay, put some comments in. I never see the comments on here, but I will reply afterwards. And just reflect on our own lives. As I get older, I realize my mind and my habits kind of put me in a certain situation, and I just have to stay open. And the more I stay open to the universe, the universal consciousness, the universal chi, the energy, the more the mind stays clear, like an empty screen. And then thoughts can come in, thoughts can go. And I think that's a really important lesson. And in qigong, we practice a lot on resting the mind, on emptying the mind and receiving inspiration and thoughts. Hopefully staying young, rejuvenating. Often we talk about prenatal qi, going back to the prenatal state. As we get older, we get more rigid and stiff. We think about coming back to the youthful state. So just have that in mind. I think it's a great lesson for all of us. And have a great evening, everyone. If you want more information, flowinghealth.co.uk, and lots of information on qigong, and there will be quotes from the TaoTeChing, and it is a wonderful book. Have a great evening. Bye.